Hello, and welcome to the show with John Rambo and OJ. Welcome, my friends. We have quite the night in store for you, even if it's morning when you hear this.
Wow. Not bad, John.
Thank you. I try. I'm
I'm thinking
joined, as always, with the host of the show, John Rambo himself. He's
Yes.
taking a bow right now. You can't see it. And I, as always, am OJ.
Yes, I made it to my own show. It's amazing. You did a great job. I think every fifth episode we'll give you a shot.
Why,
at it.
thank you. I appreciate this
See if you get
kindness.
it. We'll see if you get better 5 weeks from now.
I will prepare as best I can. I will undergo a rigorous training with the likes of which no one has seen before.
Yes, do it.
And I'll learn to enunciate.
Like the bat. You will train.
Yes.
All right, so last week was episode 4 of the show. It was the first episode that people were able to download to their computers, to their whatever they have. And great success. I think you told me the stats. It was almost like 1,000 people downloaded the episode 4.
We had quite a few.
Quite a few. Very good. What I'd love to see people do is take that download, take that episode, spread it like a disease, OJ. You know what I'm talking about. You spread diseases all the time.
Like a virus.
Like a virus. Spread that like a disease. Spread it around. Show it to your friends, your aunt, your uncle, your mom, your podiatrist, your mailman, whoever. You know, send that file all over the place. Get the word out about the show. I think we're doing good work here. I'm pretty proud of it.
I'm very happy to be. I'm enjoying this a lot. I think it's a really good thing we're doing here for the people.
It's for the people, yes. So spread that around like a disease. Be irresponsible with it. Do crazy things with it. And like to keep this going and growing. So, of course, you can also download this episode. It will be available on geekfiregifts.com/the show. And you can follow the link in the description to grab that.
I'm eagerly awaiting the techno remix.
Of what?
Of the show.
You think someone's working on it? Now that you said that, someone's going to do it. I'm not.
Is it Rule 33 that anything you think of will be on the internet? Anyway.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have done it. Now that people are going to do it.
I can't wait.
All right. I don't think people noticed this because no one actually did it. I'm sure that's the reason. But you can donate towards cost of the website, cost of equipment, things like that. All the information's up on there. And I'm pretty sure no one noticed it, right, John? That's why they didn't do it.
Of course. I mean, if they knew, they would have been throwing it at us.
Well, if you feel that you feel if the show's of value, you think it's worth anything, 20 cents, 50 cents, it's all appreciated.
And
goes towards keeping us going.
Yeah, I mean, well, the important thing is just even if at the very least tell your friends just to listen.
Yeah, that helps as well. But it is free and optional entertainment. But hopefully, it's not entertainment that is at a cost for us to make. That's not the idea behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you'd like to give something, whatever, it's much appreciated. All the information's up on there as well. But main thing, thank you for listening. Thank you for enjoying and all that.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So many comments came out of the show last week. We're going to jump into the comments. I would just like to say, again, thank you for the comments. The comments are really giving us fuel, giving us stuff to talk about.
If nothing else, stoking my ego.
So they're really building. They're actually everyone's making the show, basically the community, and keep putting up comments. If you don't see me if you don't listen to us or hear us using your comments each week, doesn't mean that we're ignoring it. A lot of them I'm saving for specific episodes in the future. I have in mind different themes and things like that. So I do save all the comments. If you don't hear it being used right now, it may be used in the future. So keep that in mind. Let's jump right into the comments. OJ, read them off, sir.
All right. This one's from Crunk DG. I'm listening to this on my electronic internet toaster.
Yes.
That
should totally copyrighted that idea.
I could swear those existed, but if they don't, they do now.
If someone's going to steal it, Apple's going to make, or the Android toaster tablet's going to come out.
If they made an Apple toaster, I bet you someone somewhere would try and slice an apple and put it inside.
People would buy it.
Oh yeah, especially if it's white with that logo.
So if anyone out there can make up the schematics for that, please let me know. We'll work together. We'll copyright this idea.
Yeah, if nothing else, get it in Gary's mod so it pops the apple up.
All right, what else we got?
This one's from the Unforeseen Cider. Well, let's see.
Okay.
I just bought my new computer. First thing I did was watch the show with John Rambo and OJ.
Wow, that's a great compliment.
Yeah.
I think most people, the first thing they would do is probably look up some pornography.
It would also be the second thing and the third thing.
Exactly, yeah. The first 5 things would be porn, and then like a rerun of Who's the Boss would be watched.
And then the 6th would be waffles.
So what do you think about that? The first thing you did was watch the show or listen to the show.
As always, I'm flattered. I mean, I'm just glad to know that we're doing something that people are enjoying, and I'm enjoying it too.
Excellent. What do we got?
All right. Wasn't Resident Evil 2 on N64? By Glory Seeker 2X.
Glory Seeker 2X is a friend of mine. He's from the Don'tBlowThis.com forums. And he's calling me out. I'm going to ban him for doing this.
The ban hammer is coming down.
He's a great young man from Oklahoma. He's a great guy. A couple of people called me out on that because we did a little bit of a PS1 versus N64 discussion, that era of gaming. And I think my statement was what? There was no Resident Evil on the 64?
Yeah.
So a couple of people called me out. They go, Resident Evil 2 is on 64. But here's the deal. Okay, everybody? Resident Evil 2 came out on the PlayStation in January of 1998. It came out on the N64 in October of 99. And it was like a neutered version of the game.
Like, congrats, you got 90% of Resident Evil at most.
Right, so I'm going to stand by my original statement and say there really wasn't any Resident Evil on the 64.
It looked like Resident Evil. It wasn't Resident Evil.
Like, it was a decent port, but it was missing a lot of things. And they tried to fit 2 discs on the cartridge, and it came out, a year and a half later. So
it's more like, instead of Resident Evil, it's more like Occupant Nastiness.
Right. But I should have known better to challenge anything Nintendo. There's a rabid audience that will destroy you.
I was in that audience in my younger days. I've become more temperate now. It is not something you want to incite.
This is true. The next comment is from Joey B. And he says, "Hey John, I think you should try Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. It's my favorite Spider-Man game." Well, I would like to tell you I did play that game. I think I've played most of the Spider-Man games, including the arcade game, Maximum Carnage.
Yeah.
Several other stuff. What did you play as far as Spider-Man goes?
Not a whole lot. I think I played some Maximum Carnage, a couple of the old games from back in the day, but nothing recent.
I think I played like all of them. My favorite ones are the PS1 Spider-Man game and Spider-Man 2, which was the movie game for the PS2. But I mean, they still haven't figured out how to make a great Spider-Man game. They haven't really nailed it. I mean, you played those games and you were like, it felt like the start of something or something they could build off of, not like the definitive Spider-Man game. And we're still waiting for that. And now we see that it's possible to make a great superhero game because Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City are like the greatest games ever.
Pretty much.
Arkham City is amazing. I'd like to talk about that, but maybe more next week because I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it might be better to get your impressions at the end. But no spoilers, please.
You're not. It's gonna take you like a year to beat it, dude.
It's gonna take me a year to finish Arkham Asylum.
Well, we're not. I'm gonna have to spoil it, or you're gonna have to mute your microphone. And
all right, I'll get on this.
But yeah, I think you could make a great superhero game for all the characters. Really,
you just have to figure out what makes them. What makes them that character. What is it they do? What is it that if you were them, what would you want to be doing?
They have so much going on. I mean, like Green Lantern just had a game. His first game ever for Green Lantern came out recently, and you probably didn't even know that, right? No one even knows it came out.
Was that the DS game?
No, it was on the DS also, but it's a movie tie-in game. It was awful.
Well, yeah, that's probably
but
why.
You could make all these games the quality of that Batman game. It's just a matter of like wanting to do it and investing the money and stuff.
I don't know how you do a Green Lantern game. I mean,
dude, you can make a Green Lantern game like. It could be like Mass Effect, all the different planets and shit, and all the different things you can do.
Yeah, the only problem is that his power. I mean, he's limited to like, you use the mallet, because his power is to create whatever the frell he wants, like on the fly. I mean, I guess they could have like certain powers, like crush something with like 10 or 20 different things you could use to crush it. Like, oh, in this instance, use a hammer. In this instance, use a rock.
Right, you could figure it out. Like Arkham City, Batman has many abilities, so you could figure it out. Just it's a matter of doing it. So
Batman is a man of many.
That's my spiel on that.
Yeah.
And Shattered Dimensions was good, so I did play it, and it was better than the Edge of Time.
Oh.
Which I'm actually staring at right now across from my desk. I just got to get rid of it.
It's leering at you.
All right, here's another comment. It's from Ronan Hall, 1970. And he says, only kids play Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Real men play Magic the Gathering. Stay ballsy, my friends. So my question to you, OJ, is there like a rivalry amongst the card game players? Do they look down on the Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, you're a Magic player. Do you say, like, screw those Pokemon guys? They're nothing compared to me?
Well, it's considering that what's really sad is when you go to a Pokemon tournament and you've got 20 kids and then the 5 most hardcore, serious-looking people you've ever seen who built, like, the kids built their decks like, yay, I like Pikachu. And then you see these 5 guys who are like, I will crush you. I must break you. That's just what I picture when I think of Pokemon tournaments.
Is this something you've seen?
A friend of mine would go to, when she was younger, went to a couple Pokemon tournaments, and there were a couple of just these really serious guys. Like, oh my gosh, they should just let the kids win and go home. But
there isn't, like, they don't break it down by, like, ages, or they just throw them all together?
I don't know. This was a long time ago. I'm guessing they didn't expect adults to show up. But nowadays, I don't know if it's that bad. I mean, I don't know. I just play Magic now. Do
the Magic guys generally look down on the other games, or is it all kind of like a brotherhood?
I think they'd probably see Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh as being, well, Pokemon is more simplistic. Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't want to. I mean, you can diss the Pokemon card game a little bit, but you make fun of Yu-Gi-Oh, and there's some rabid fans who will probably cut you. I don't know. I don't know too much about Yu-Gi-Oh. One of my friends was obsessed with it and really liked it a lot, but I never got into it. I mean, I don't see it as super childish or anything. Just, the American version, as always, is neutered.
It's probably like a lot of communities. There's the good people and the negative people. So
yeah, there's good people and bad people in any community. I mean,
all right. I thought maybe you'd have some kind of story about, like, the Magic players going over and flipping over a table of Yu-Gi-Oh guys in a brawl.
No, they don't show up to our events.
All right. Next comment, sir.
All right. Hey guys, I know you are both into console games a bunch, but have you been interested in PC games such as World of Pantscraft, Hurricane Haker? I'm sorry, I call World of Warcraft World of Pantscraft.
Why do you call it that?
Because when I was in college, my character was a leather worker, and I constantly ended up making pants. So as a joke, I called it Pantscraft because that's what my character got stuck doing day in, day out. That's right.
So just for hours on end, you're making pants.
I was making pants and then selling them to stupid vendors because nobody wants to buy a terrible pair of pants.
Yeah, I never, to answer the question, I never really was into PC games because my family didn't have a computer until like 99. But I did play a lot of games at, friends' houses, especially like Duke Nukem and Doom, the big ones. But I know you've always been into PC games. What did you play?
Oh yeah, like I played, well, back in the day, I actually watched a friend of mine play more Half-Life than I ever ended up playing, but I played a lot of Counter-Strike. I was terrible. I remember
I used to play that. Yeah.
I joined a clan with our friend Corey, but whenever we went into a match, he insisted that we put away the guns and just use the knives. We never won.
Real men do.
We never won. Yes, real men, knives only. It was great.
Wait, you would play against dudes that had guns, but your team had the knives?
Oh yeah, we lost every time, but it was hilarious. We'd buy armor and that was it. I mean, I played a lot of PC stuff. I mean, what's sad is how many games I've started but haven't finished. For example, the monolith of hours that is Baldur's Gate. Heck, I still have dreams of finishing The Witcher, for crying out loud. Thief 1 was great, but then, oh look, zombies, and I got annoyed in like level 2. Mm-hmm. But Deus Ex 1, I still have to finish that. I downloaded it again. Steam has saved my life. But yeah, I play PC a lot. Most of what I play is Team Fortress 2, a few other random games, a couple of indie games. But yeah, I'm a big fan of PC gaming, and I don't think it's going to die or anything soon because it's totally fun, and mouse and keyboard is better for shooters. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with arcades and consoles. That's what I've always kind of stuck with. But I eventually got a computer in like 98, 99. Then I spent most of my time downloading music from Napster. It would take like an entire night to do one song.
Oh, the glory days.
Do you remember the first time? Let me ask you a question. You're like a little younger than me, but do you remember the first time that you experienced the internet or like saw the internet for the first time?
Vaguely.
Well, what do you remember? Can you explain it?
It was just like, well, what do I do here?
Well, where were
I
you?
like dinosaurs.
Where were you at?
I'm trying to remember. I know it was in elementary school. I could swear it.
Yeah, all the schools had it first.
Yeah, which is kind of funny when you look back.
Right.
I remember when a friend of ours introduced us to Google for the first time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, people were running around on Ask Jeeves and AOL.com, and my friend's like, no, try Google, it's better. And then ever since that point, she has always taken credit for finding Google for us. So Tara, thank you. You have enlightened us all.
First time I experienced the internet was in elementary school, like you said, and it was like some kind of class, right? And they had it set up like on AOL. It was like AOL or Prodigy or like CompuServe, I guess.
Yeah.
But they had it set up on a computer, and they were doing is IMing another school. Like, we're talking to another school in real time, or IMing, instant messaging. I remember being there, and I was like, this was probably like 95.
Yeah.
I was like 10 or 11 or something, and I was just thinking to myself, like, that's so stupid. This will never catch on. Like, we're talking to another school. I was like, this is dumb.
Just call them on the phone.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Why do you want to talk to them? What is the point of that? But then like one of my friends had the net. He had like Prodigy in like '96.
Yeah.
And we tried to go to like we were into music, or like we were into Nirvana. It was a big band we liked. So we tried to go to like Nirvana fan sites. It would take like an hour to load the page, and we'd run over and look at it for like a second. And it was one of those old school websites that had like nothing on it, you know. It was like text and stuff.
GeoCities.
Yeah, it was like a GeoCities kind of deal.
Gosh, I remember Angel Fire too.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I mean, heck, before the internet, I remember the Microsoft Encarta Encyclopedia. Using that for reports and stuff. And once the internet hit, it was just like, well, don't need you anymore.
Yeah, Ask Jeeves, what a stupid idea that was. And then I remember Google. Like they were like, oh, try this thing Google. People were like, what stupid name is that?
I thought that was a number.
Right.
It's got 100 zeros.
Your mic is sounding a little weird. I guess we'll continue, and if it gets bad, then we'll...
Do I angle it again? Is this any better? I got to keep my head facing straight forward.
I don't know. It sounds odd.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Read the next question. We'll see if it works or not.
Wow, we really went off the topic on that one, but...
Yeah, that's okay.
With Halloween right around the corner, I would like to know if either of you guys enjoy horror movies. If so, what would be each of your all-time favorites, and why? The original Halloween will always be my favorite. Evil Dead 2 is a very close second. By our friend, Phyrexian Nighthawk.
All right, what I want to do is actually we're going to save this question for next week, because next week is Halloween week. When is Halloween anyway? What day is that?
Monday of the week afterward.
All right, so yeah, next week will be the Halloween episode. We'll answer this question, and what I want people to do is post up Halloween-esque questions in the comments section. That would be cool. And I want to do an entire Halloween episode talking about like our favorite scary movies, horror games, shit like that.
Oh man, nice.
So we'll save that one, and please post more Halloween-esque questions. What is your favorite candy bar? Stuff like that.
Oh man, I got some
stories. Did you ever get an apple with a razor blade stuck inside? Things like that.
Eggings.
Okay, we got next comment is from Nero Must Die 1. It says, "Hey OJ, what do you think of anime as of late? Also, what is your top 3 favorite anime? My favorite are Hokuto no Ken. Okay, Hokuto no Ken, Trigun, and Soul Eater. Stay ballsy, my friends."
Well, actually, I haven't seen Hokuto no Ken. Now, my Japanese is terrible, but is that Fist of the North Star?
Yes.
If it is, then yeah, like that's one of the shows that I've heard is great. Now, my favorites would probably be Cowboy Bebop, because the music's awesome, the characters are pretty cool, and the show just does everything right. I put Berserk and Claymore up there too, because Berserk was one of my favorite shows when I was a little kid. You've seen some of Berserk, right, John?
I've only seen very little. I think you probably showed me a little bit.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And Claymore is basically that, but they took out all the colors. They're very different, but they're similar in my head. And my next favorite, as much as I love Trigun, though, Evangelion and all the good classics and stuff, is a show that I just randomly came across called, Infinite Revias. It's basically, the best way I can describe it is Lord of the Flies in space.
Wow. Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, it's really it's a really interesting show. It may not be the best produced show, it may not be the most interesting, may not have the best characters, but I liked it a lot. It just there's some cool characters running around, and just watching what happens to the kids as time goes on. The basic plot is there are a bunch of students in this program, and they're on a ship in space, like basically a big old school. Not like the battle school in Ender's Game, but a school. And something happens, the ship gets attacked, and basically all of the adults, forget it, they're out of the picture. And so these kids are left to operate the ship by themselves. It's
Cool.
really cool, yeah.
What about Code Geass? That's the one I like.
Oh, yeah, I love Code Geass as well.
I've only seen it like very few, but like that's the one I like. I've only seen a couple. I think you showed me Gantz.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of strange.
And the anime is tamer than the manga.
Okay.
Now just think about that one. Gantz is pretty cool. I mean, there's some interesting stuff. I mean, lately I liked Soul Eater a lot. The ending was kind of weird, but apparently the manga goes farther. I also liked the Mightiest Disciple Kenichi, which is a martial arts anime, which is actually pretty cool. Something you can watch legally for free on YouTube on Funimation's site. There's ads every now and then, but it's not so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, Kenichi's pretty funny, although I do feel bad for the Muay Thai guy because they kind of make him a gentle giant with an IQ of 50.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, next comment from Anbu Killer B Pro.
Oh, pants.
It says, I like hentai, but I'm a noob. OJ, since you're infamous in the hentai circle, tell me some good one, please. P.S. No animal porn. Are you infamous in the hentai circle? I didn't know anything about it.
I hope not, unless I've been Rule 34'd already. But
do you have any comments here about this?
I don't really watch hentai. I may have mentioned
really watch
that
hentai.
Fate Stay Night is based on a hentai. It's an anime based on a hentai game, but I really have not gone out of my way to watch hentai. It's a little weird. I wish I could help you, but
Okay.
I got nothing.
It's strange stuff.
Yeah, what I will tell you is that Fate Stay Night and Lunar Legend Tsukihime are pretty cool anime as far as shows go, despite being based on hentai. And Melty Blood is actually based on Lunar Legend Tsukihime, the fighting game. So,
Melty Blood, the fighting game.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Just think, whenever you're playing Melty Blood, it's based on porn.
I remember it's just the strangest thing ever. I remember the first time somebody showed it to me. Someone's like watched it like when this stuff first started coming over.
Oh
like,
my gosh, Corey, yeah.
Yeah. This was like 15 years ago or something. But it's like, watch this. And it was like, what is this, man? It involved like a fairy and like a guy.
I remember the plot. Oh my gosh.
There too, huh?
It was Elfin Bride.
All right, don't name things.
Sorry, but the show is about. Okay, this is the gist I got. This guy married an elf, but elves are smaller than humans, so he has to go out and acquire a magical aid to be able to have kids with her. If you know what I'm saying.
It scares me that you remember this much of this.
I completely forgotten until you mentioned it. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
All right. That dude actually showed me like anime for the first time too. Like,
yeah, I gotta give him thanks for that. I wouldn't have known. I really wouldn't have thought everything was just Dragon Ball Z until we met him.
Well, Dragon Ball, like people not Dragon Ball, that's what kind of brought it to the stage.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Akira first of all, but that was more like underground, and then Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And then people were like, "Oh shit, what is this?" And then like all the other stuff started flooding in.
It was a great movie though.
Well, I remember like watching like Ghost in the Shell on DVD and like how great the animation was.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
So,
I forgot about that.
So you thank him for.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of stuff.
Thank you, Corey. I would have lost an entire hobby and had a lot more.
Well, you don't have to thank him on air because I don't think he's listening, or people don't know who he is.
You never know.
All right. Next comment is from Venomous Fat Man. Is a big YouTube star.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You showed me some of his stuff.
Yeah, he actually did an interview with me. I'd like to have him on the show soon. We've been talking about doing that, so hopefully he gets on soon. He says, dude, Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis, and Arnold are all confirmed for The Expendables 2. I hope that's true. That sounds pretty sweet. You know how this Hollywood stuff goes, though. It could be like, 2 days before they're supposed to start shooting and somebody's drunk or someone's arrested or something. But I hope they all make it. And,
oh, yeah.
And it actually happens. It sounds pretty sweet.
I want the old Spice guy to come back, too. That his shotgun was awesome.
The Old Spice guy? You want him in the Expendables?
He was already in it, dude. The old, not the old Spice guy. The old Spice guy. Not the old Spice guy. I mean, just the old Spice guy.
They should put Ash in the Expendables.
You know he's gonna be in there.
You think so? They don't care about him.
It's Bruce Campbell, man.
Yeah, but what is Stallone? Stallone doesn't even know who he is, probably. He should, but you know.
Well, we got to get on this. We got to spread the word. We got to email Bomb Stallone. Well, not Bomb, but just send him lots of emails saying, hey.
Let's bomb Stallone. What great advice.
That's not what I said. Email Bomb, dang it.
Moving on. Bomb Stallone, moving on.
You're going to have to do this one, my friend. This
is from Mischief2341. He says, shitty Conan, shitty Jean-Claude Van Damme, shitty people known as shitty OJ, spending shitty money on shitty games, and John isn't doing his shitty smart guys this week. Everything is shitty. I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, like I've been thinking about this. I could never have like a panel at a convention, like a listeners panel, because it'd just be cursing and like people throwing feces the entire time. It could never happen.
I'm more concerned about the people catching them.
Yes. Read the next one.
Yeah, this one's from Sparkling Cider 101. Man, I'd love to take that class. John, are you content with being where you are, or are you ever thinking about taking gaming serious and becoming a gamer?
What exactly does a gamer mean? What is that? I thought it was just anyone that plays games is a gamer.
I mean, maybe professional gamer was the intent of the question. That's certainly possible.
All right, I could kind of take this two different ways. If you're asking if I'm ever going to become a serious gamer, I've kind of gone down that road before. I started playing competitive Street Fighter in probably 2003. Started with Capcom vs. SNK 2, and I played in many tournaments. And then I played Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo at a very high level for years. I got top 10 at Evolution 2007. In 2010, I was able to play the game very heavily. I think I was probably the best in the country at that point. Now, some people may disagree with that, but they probably aren't people that played me at that time. And that was when I won a qualifying tournament in Tennessee, and I went to Japan for Super Battle Opera, and I was part of the Team USA team in 2010. And now I'm kind of cooled out on it. I've kind of figured out that instead of dumping a ton of time into games, I can kind of put that into other avenues. That's what I've realized after many years. But so that's why my competitive gaming, is probably coming to not an end, but it's winding down kind of, and focusing on other things. The other way I could take this question is he asking if I'm going to become like a big gaming person on YouTube, and the answer to that is probably no, because you don't really need to see me play. People send me messages all the time saying, why don't you play this game or that game for your YouTube channel? But you don't really need to see me doing that. There's so many people playing games on YouTube. It's not really necessary for me to do that. And the road I want to go down with this is more original content. Like the stuff I really enjoy doing is this show, Smart Guys, stuff like that. I do enjoy playing games a lot with Phil, with like other people, doing the co-op stuff. But like sitting in front of the TV all the time and talking to myself in the camera isn't really too interesting to me. I'd rather do creative things, and there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming up on this channel, a lot of new creative original content. That's going to be the future of JohnRamboPresents coming up. Yeah.
Keep an eye on this.
Yes.
I'm going to want to see what happens.
So that's my answer to what I think your question may be.
Yeah, honestly, though, I think people, more than seeing you play the game, they like hearing your reactions to it.
That is true, and I do I do obviously like games a lot, but as far as being like a big-time gaming channel where I'm going to play all the new games and shit like that, I'm not really very interested in doing that. So this is such a great platform, and I got to use this for creative ways, because I feel like I got creative energy going right now, and I got to go down that road with it. So
channel yourself.
We got to talk about some things off air. I have some ideas.
Oh, believe me.
We got to get some stuff.
We will.
All right. What else we got here?
All right. So, John, who are your biggest inspirations besides your family? Conan, maybe? From Futuristic.
Who are your biggest inspirations besides your family? First of all, he's assuming my family is an inspiration, which may or may not be true. I shouldn't say that. They definitely are good people.
Harsh.
I would say Conan, definitely. I went to see Conan when he first started, like in 96, 97. I saw his show live.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I want to kind of do that one day. I want to have a show. Here we are. It's not quite on the same level, but it's a show nonetheless.
Step one, complete.
And then I was way into radio. Growing up, I don't know really why that was. I think I didn't have a TV in my room for a long time when I was a kid, and I had a radio. So at night I would listen to stuff and I would tape stuff. And I was big into Howard Stern, big influence. And there was another radio show that was on when I was in high school, and that's the Opie and Anthony show.
I knew it. Oh, I just knew it.
You know Opie and Anthony?
Yeah, I know Opie and Anthony, dude.
All right, so when I was in high school, I was way into Opie and Anthony. They were on, when I got home from school, they were on the radio. I listened to them like every day after school, and they were crazy. And I don't even know if they're still on. I think they were on like XM radio, and then they're not, or I don't know what's going on. But
they've had some ups and downs.
Yes, they were kicked off the radio and stuff like that. But those are my influences. I have a great love of audio and stuff like that due to Stern and them and stuff. And Kevin Smith, big time. I got a lot of respect for Kevin Smith. He's a dude that made a movie with a couple $100 and then became a big director off of that. So I like anyone that does that like grassroots kind of thing and underground type of stuff. And one other influence I just want to throw in there. There's a lot, but I'll throw one more in there. It's the wrestler Sabu.
Okay.
Because the work ethic of this guy is amazing. I would go to independent wrestling shows. Even now, he's still doing this, but I would go to independent wrestling shows like 10 years ago, and there'd be like 150 to 200 people in the audience, maybe less. And the guy would be killing himself, diving into the crowd and getting hit with chairs and going through tables and just destroying himself for the entertainment of a couple people in the audience. He did this, all over the country. So tremendous work ethic and shit like that. So I tried to emulate that, I guess, and those are my influences off the top of my head at the moment.
Well, I remember you you made him as an added character in No Mercy because he wasn't in it, right?
I would always add Sabu. Sabu's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He revolutionized the sport of professional wrestling in the early 90s, brought the tables to America, high-flying stuff. So, yes.
Impressive.
The next comment from Nameless Ninja, he says, how come we don't have any OJ t-shirts? No comment.
I don't, well, what shirt of me would people, I mean, what, just me and my doofy little hat, like, hanging out? I mean, what do you guys want to see on a OJ shirt?
I don't really have many shirts of me either, so we should get on that. Like, if people want to make stuff or logos and stuff, please do so. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Jay.
If you want to give us permission to use them, that's even better.
Oh yeah, well, we'll give you full credit stuff like that, and
yeah,
plug you and all that. But if people want to make some shirts for the show and stuff, that'd be awesome. And I'll put up like Cafe Press or something like that.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, all I got here is a printer and iron-on transfers, and that doesn't cut it after a while.
All right, let's run through these questions. Go for it, dude. Read them out.
This is from Lanky Legs Lou. I get off from drinking 12 cans of Coke and eating pixie sticks. Keith Moon would be proud. Yeah, so that day I mentioned was the day, pretty much every college campus has a day where everyone gets completely trashed. It was only that day where I did it. I didn't run around every weekend having 12 cans of Coke and eating pixie sticks. It was like once or twice a year.
You're backing off your original statement.
No. It was just the one day. It was great. I was buying tell my parents, I don't care. I was buying cans of Coke, like 12 packs with my meal plan money. I had 12 packs by that point in the year. And we decided, that's it. I haven't had soda for 6 months. I have no caffeine tolerance. Let's do this.
Yeah, Keith Moon. You mentioned Keith Moon. That's another influence of mine. I have a lot of musical influences. Probably get to that someday. But I don't think Keith Moon did Coke or drank Coke and ate pixie sticks. He actually did Coke and probably ate I think horse tranquilizers or something like that. So that's a little different than what he was doing. But
yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, even with no caffeine tolerance, it doesn't make you that crazy having that much caffeine, but don't risk anything.
Right.
All right.
All right. This is going for you. This will be funny.
Okay.
This is from Stephen the Bowl. It says, John and OJ just wanted to know what's the worst food you've ever eaten. The type of food that makes you cringe to even think about. Also, if you had a choice between being physically tortured or eating that food, which would you choose? Thank you for your consideration and great show.
Well, I would say that in my case, I've got two foods, and they're both physical torture to eat. I ate both of them while I was in Japan. Sorry for cutting you off and answering first, but this is fresh in my mind right now.
It's fine, go ahead.
There's two. One, I'm pretty sure a lot of Japanophiles will have heard of, and some will say it's not that bad. It's called natto. It's like fermented soybean gloop. It's like fermented soybean sprouts or something, and it gloops together with this gross, slimy texture, and yet still has a weird crunch to it. It was terrible. Made me want to kill myself. My host family had me try it, and then they were just laughing the whole time.
They were laughing at you.
Well, yeah, because they knew that all host students hated it, but figured I had to try it. Let's be polite. And oh, man, not worth it. And the other terrible food in Japan, now I was with I had a semi-quasi internship while I was there for part of a class. So my boss from the internship, after it was over, took myself and some of his friends out to go get the nice meal. And they served a bunch of different courses. And what we ended up having was I was sitting there and no one spoke English. So I was just there trying to speak Japanese, and they were laughing when I said certain words. But this dish came out. It was in a martini glass type thing with a brown liquid and this clear stuff in the center. It looks like those cellophane noodles. And I'm asking people, what is this? What is this? In Japanese. And they're saying, fish, something fish. What? I don't understand. They said, kurage da, kurage desu. Like, what is kurage? And no one could tell me. And I try eating it, and it's like, it's weird. It's soaking in this liquid of I don't know what it is. And it's got a really awful taste, and it just crunches worse than like having a bad calamari. Finally, this other guy shows up who speaks English, and I'm like, what was that? It's like, I ate as much as I could stomach. I tried. I really did. The guy's like, oh, that was jellyfish. Just like,
wow, that's awesome.
Not best of days. I mean, a great meal aside from that one dish, but
There's also a lot of like normal foods that you don't like. You have a very strange tasted food. Like you don't like lettuce and stuff like that.
I've gotten better.
I've gotten better.
I'm forcing. Like yeah. After eating that, you kind of realize that lettuce ain't so bad.
Right. This is what you had to go through to. I remember when you were younger, it was like I don't eat lettuce. I was like,
yeah.
what?
I take it off my burgers. Still won't eat pickles.
I have to say, like I'm gonna say similar things to you, but I had, as a disclaimer, I had some of the best food I ever had in Japan. So I don't want to make it seem like the food there is bad.
Oh no, it's great. Yes, yeah, thing, man.
But I had, when I was there, I had chicken. It was like basically we were walking around trying to figure out where to go to eat.
Oh, I think I know this.
And there was this one dude outside, and he was like, come in to eat. Like he was the the advertiser guy for the store. So he was like, come in here and eat. And we're like, is it good for foreigners? We're like, ask him. He's like, yeah, you'll love it. America, yes, America, you'll love it. So like, okay, I go in there, and the place. First of all, they charge you just to sit.
Yep. You have no idea.
They kept like bringing bowls. Like you never ordered. Like they just kept bringing shit. And we're like, all right, you think it's like the Olive Garden, like the bread's free, but what they're doing is they're charging you. Like they bring food to you, and if you eat it, then they charge you. It was very odd. And like some of the stuff was like really bad. It was chicken knuckles and things like that.
Yeah, chicken cartilage.
Chicken cartilage, very poor tasting.
Yeah. Kind
of a strange texture. And then it was crazy expensive because we didn't know what we were doing. And that was that. But there was also this other stuff that we went to this one restaurant, and there was this, I guess it was like the sauce or whatever. It was called Tororo.
Yeah.
You heard of this? And it actually had a disclaimer on the menu, and it said, if you're not used to this, you can ask, you can tell us, we'll take it, we won't include it with the meal. It's very strange to people who have never had it before, and it could cause mouth numbness. And my friend Biron was with us. He actually got it, and he was eating it like, just like slurping it up. But we didn't get. We said, no, I don't want mouth numbness. We're not going to get that. So that was kind of weird. But as far as the second part of his question, which was, if you had a choice between being physically tortured or eating that food, which would you choose? I would definitely eat the food, no matter what it is. I could probably eat it. Because like, what's going to happen after that? Like, you might vomit, you might, crap your pants, whatever. But being physically tortured, that's kind of a whole other world.
Well,
How do you feel about that?
well, if they give you the mouth, if you eat the Totoro, if you eat that, then if your mouth is numb, maybe if they start yanking your teeth, it won't hurt as much.
I don't know. Well, that's Novocaine you're describing, not a food. So.
Let's hope that doesn't come up. I mean, oh gosh, I'd probably rather eat than be physically tortured, depending on what the torture is. If it's like people attacking you with feathers, I mean, yeah, that's not torture. So yeah, I'd probably rather eat food.
I'm the kind of person I feel like I could probably eat anything. I'm not afraid of foods. I could probably eat bugs and all that, like that bizarre food show. I could probably do all of it.
I remember I was in Japan. I watched somebody. They were in Korea eating stuff. They were just swallowing live squid and fish and stuff.
I could do it probably if I had to.
Yeah, I gotta say, Japan. Some of the best food I've had. Some of the worst food I've had. I don't know if we want to do a food episode at some point.
Yeah, we definitely should. We're getting more ideas. Write that down. So we've got the. I don't know. I'll have to listen to the show. Yeah, I know there was a previous idea. Then we got the food episode.
Yeah, I'll write that down. This is a receipt for something, but whatever.
We'll have to have a guest on for the food show. It'll have to be like someone from the Food Network. I'll call him up.
Okay. I might know a couple of chef friends, so we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, actually. Get a chef in here.
I'll do my best.
You got one more comment I just want to do. And this one's actually from Bart Flyer. And he left this comment on thekingofhate.com. You can actually leave comments there, too, or ask questions on there as well.
We will still see them.
I will see them. There's a thread I made where people can ask additional questions. He says, which do you prefer, Marvel or DC? And if there were to be a realistic character crossover brand war between which brand would reign supreme is the question. Marvel versus DC is like the original console war from that was like before there was video games, like that was the console war.
Yeah, that's what nerds got angry about. Well, besides Star Trek and Star Wars. Right,
that too, but it's like the way I look at it, it's entertainment and you don't have to choose. You can enjoy both things equally. It's not, I'm not going to pick one or the other. There's probably things I like about one more than the other one and vice versa, but I can't really choose. They both make a lot of mistakes, and they both do things right from time to time. So, how would you answer that specific part of the question?
You mean which do I prefer?
Yes.
Oh, man.
You don't have to choose. I didn't choose.
Yeah, I know, but, you just can't do it because you go to them looking for different things. Like, I used to go to DC because it was like, aw, look, it's Superman. I remember when I was a kid. This is awesome. And I go to Marvel for, angsty, teenagers blasting things with their eyes and whatnot. But now it's gotten a little muddled.
Yeah.
I don't see DC necessarily as that homey, old-fashioned thing anymore. They've gotten pretty hardcore a little bit. Well, not hardcore, but they've gotten a lot grittier. There
was a point in the 90s where the Marvel was better, and then I think they were better for a long time. I think DC's better now, or has been for a while.
Yeah, I mean... there's definitely been a slight swing to DC. Plus, DC has... although DC is doing stuff to my favorite DC character now, too, that annoys me. So, who knows where I'll end up.
Well, they did a great job with, the Batman movies. I mean, in the 90s, they had, the X-Men cartoon, the SpiderMan cartoon really, helped out Marvel a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That's when Batman was, doing the bat nipples and all that stuff. But now Batman's really hot and shit, and I don't know, it's pretty interesting. And
yeah, we'll have to see how the Avengers does.
Yeah, but they're not battling anymore in comic form. They're battling each other in media, movies and stuff like that. That's how they're fighting now.
That's the thing. There's plenty of room for superhero movies.
Right.
I mean, I guess if they had the Justice League playing the same time as the Avengers, that might be a problem for one or the other company.
And he says, who would win in an actual crossover battle?
Oh, pants.
The thing is, Marvel's very balanced. That their universe is incredibly balanced. All the characters are pretty equal, and there's no one guy that's the best.
And they're pretty, and people are somewhat fragile.
Right. In DC, you have godlike characters. You have some people that are just humans, but then there's people that are gods and shit. And Superman and Shazam would be tough for the Marvel characters to deal with, I think.
The best they could do is throw Thor at them.
Thor, Hulk would have to do it, but I don't know. That's another episode as well. I mean, that's too much.
All right, comic fight, go.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for the comments. It took quite a while, but I had to get through them. And let's see. So that was that. There was no Smart Guys on Saturday.
Sorry.
We'll return next week. Please check out Ring of Honor, ROHWrestling.com. That is the best wrestling show right now. We'll be discussing that on this week's show on Saturday for Smart Guys. And the reason there was no Smart Guys is because we were at the New York Comic-Con for several days.
/ Anime Festival.
Yeah, so we're going to get into that. I just want to disconnect from you very quickly, and because I think it'll improve the mic quality if we do that. So we'll be right back.
I'll be right here.
All right, we're back. Had a little mic issues. Skype is awesome. I love it. So we went to New York Comic-Con last weekend. I was there on Saturday. We were there actually all weekend.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right. I just want to say before we get into it, like what we did and stuff like that, I went to cons in the 90s. My uncle was big into comics, and he would take me to conventions, and it's a completely different world now. It's insane. Most of these cons were like in like hotel ballrooms and like rooms in hotels and shit. And then that was like your local stuff. And then there was like a big con. I think it was called the Big Apple Comic Con.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and that was across the street from Madison Square Garden. I remember going to that in like the early 90s. I was probably like 10 years old or something. But if you want like a glimpse at what cons were, you should watch Chasing Amy, like the beginning of that movie. So it actually takes place in New York Comic Con, I think, like the second one.
Wow.
It was like a completely different world. There was no video games, first of all.
Yeah.
Now it's like big time video game presence. There was like artists from the comics, but there was no like official Marvel or DC presence there. And there's no like the Hollywood hadn't gotten their like claws into this world yet. This was like that was like taboo and shit, you know. So I remember going to one in like the early 90s, and the big star of the convention was Adam West. Like, keep in mind, Adam West is cool and stuff, but Batman had been off the air for like 30 years at this point. And that was like the big deal, and we had to like wait in this huge line, and we saw Adam West. And it was mostly him like mocking the Tim Burton Batman movies.
Yeah.
But it's completely different from today, because now you have like the Avengers movies coming out, so you have like the actual actors, you know, from the movie coming out will be at Comic-Con and shit. And,
yeah.
And there was no anime. It was before anime even took off, so it's basically very hardcore. You had your you know, your crazy people, you know, like me and my uncle and a couple other dudes that were like shunned by society for liking this stuff. And then you had like, you know, it was a hardcore comic show. There was very few people in costumes, maybe a couple stormtroopers and stuff, but nothing too crazy. A couple dudes with and most of it was like dudes with comic boxes selling the actual comics, and that was what it was. And then I actually went to New York Comic Con 2007 in the Javits Center. It was a little bigger. It was nothing like this. It was much quieter. The panels were very easy to go to. Like they left the panel doors open. You can go, like, people were going in and out to the panels, like for like DC and stuff. It wasn't a big deal. So now things have gotten crazy. And I think it's so much bigger now because of the comic book movies. And like the rise of the internet too. I mean, everyone's able to take part in the culture now.
And they can find out about conventions that they hadn't heard of.
You actually find out about conventions. You have to, like, you'd find out from your comic store and have like a pamphlet, and you would go or whatever.
Yeah, but now you can just find out.
Yeah, right. So, you know, no matter where you live in the world, you could partake in the that culture of the Comic-Con culture.
Well, it's funny because, I mean, I went to Comic-Con. The first time I went to New York Comic-Con was the year before it merged with the New York Anime Festival, I think. That was the first year I went. And it was pretty huge, but it's weird. It just seems to me that only after like anime became super popular did people go crazy with costumes and stuff too. I don't know if there's a connection between that, but once, like, because Comic-Con seemed like an anime, like, I'd only been to anime conventions before I went to Comic-Con, and it was weird because it just seems like the whole costume thing has gotten crazy. Not bad. I dress up too. What can I say?
Well, wasn't like the cosplay culture from Japan that kind of came with the anime, I guess?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, it's totally different now, and thankfully, because I'm not really into that, this New York Comic Con wasn't very anime centric like the last we went to Kineticon, which was.
Well, yeah, Kineticon.
Well, it definitely was an anime presence, but it wasn't like crazy.
Well, basically, New York Comic Con ate the New York Anime Festival. Like,
Okay.
it ate it, it absorbed it, and made it its own. And now the anime kids are shoved off into a corner to be ignored.
Well, there's so many conventions for that though. You don't.
Oh yeah, I know.
That way.
Please, they've got Otakon, they've got Anime Boston. What more do they want?
Right. It's really like the generation below us that's really into this stuff now. You notice that? Like they're the ones that really like embraced a lot of this stuff and made it huge. I think that made it really mainstream.
They're pretty crazy sometimes.
Yeah, like when I was in high school, I liked all this stuff, and I was considered like people like hated my guts.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I was
it's
a
weird.
little ahead of my time, I guess.
It's like you might actually want nerd cred now.
But I was in high school. I liked rock music and comics, and I wore like Chuck Taylor Converse, and people thought I was like a weirdo or some shit. Now that's like the thing now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just sat down and shut up and wore shorts. Actually, no, I wore khakis for a while. Ugh.
That's another episode, high school episode.
All right. Oh, by golly.
All right, so that's my spiel on what it used to be like. Now it's completely different. We'll get into that. So I was there Saturday. You were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Why don't you kind of take us through Friday?
Friday, okay.
Because I wasn't there, so I want to know what was going on. What did you do and stuff like that?
Oh, what did I do? What did I do indeed? Okay, well, bunch of things. First of all, stepping back a day, Thursday was set up. We just set up, but I talked with you guys after that, so we're cool. Friday, basically I got there early in the morning, not super early, like about 9, maybe 8:30-ish, because that was the first day at my first convention selling stuff. All I did was walk in, go upstairs, bring my stuff, and sit down at my booth. I sat there and sold stuff all day. A couple of friends came by. I could have left, but honestly, I was having so much fun. I just stayed there. And there were a lot. It was weird. Friday was quiet. There were not that many people.
It's usually the quiet day.
It was really quiet because a lot of people are at work. They just bought the weekend pass. A lot of stuff like that. It was pretty quiet. I mean, I had plenty of time to sit there. I mean, I think I only sold stuff like 5 times on Friday. But it was nice because you get to meet your neighbors, and I got to find out a little bit more of what to expect the following 2 days because Friday had me completely unprepared for what was to come on Saturday.
So that was it for Friday? Nothing else to say? How was your setup? Did you have to set up anything additionally? Or?
We set up on Thursday. On Friday, though, I brought in the remainder of my candles, including the ones I made Thursday.
Right.
And we already had the big booth part set up, but we needed to I needed to lay out my candles and stuff. And I had to fiddle with my cash box and figure out how I was going to do that sort of nonsense. But yeah, there was a little bit of setup. Some people actually just put a sticky note on their booth Thursday morning saying, "Hey, I exist. Don't evict me," and then just came in on Friday and did their entire setup Friday morning.
Wow.
Apparently, that's the standard thing to do if you're at like an anime artist's alley. But there were a lot of people, and some people like you didn't see hide nor hair of them till about 10 or 10:30 on Friday morning.
Wasn't there a guy from Funimation busting your chops about what you were selling or something?
Yeah. Well, this guy came by. He was dressed in a suit, and he was looking at my stuff. And I guess he noticed that on my price list, I had one of the candles had a symbol that was used in Full Metal Alchemist, another good show. But he came over and said, "Hey, you got any other Full Metal Alchemist candles?" I'm like, "No, I only have these 2." And he's looking around and stuff, blah, 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 blah. And, I'm showing him my other stuff. I'm saying, "Hey, look, here's some custom fish I made. Hey, look at some fairies." And my friend who was looking for artists and writers and stuff, I figured I'd help him out and said, "Hey, are you an artist or a writer by any chance?" Me completely not noticing the fact the dude's in a suit.
Right.
And I said, "Because my friend here is looking for writers and artists." And he said, "Oh, no, I actually work for Funimation," and then walked off. Just like,
He wrote you on a list. He cut himself and wrote in blood your name on the list of people that Funimation will go after.
I asked the person at the booth next to me, like, what was going on, and she said that, that sometimes people that I guess they like to that they'll send people around to keep an eye on stuff.
Funimation will send people around.
Well, or companies will. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get that though, because like I remember you and me were looking at the looking down at the con from the window, and it was like there's a dude selling DC related stuff right next to the DC booth, and
I mean, it could have been. I mean, maybe he paid the hundreds of thousands of dollars for a license or whatever. I don't know.
I don't believe so, dude. Well,
but,
I don't know. So that was it for Friday. Nothing else to add about it?
I mean, Thursday a reporter came by Thursday or Friday a reporter came by, and she actually it was Thursday when we were setting up the booth, and she was pretty nice. She might come back Saturday. Took a few photos. Said she was for the Daily News, but I didn't see any article about the Comic-Con in the paper later.
That was for her own use.
Oh dear.
She wanted your picture.
Who doesn't?
She was from Funimation.
Oh, now I'm sad.
They always say they're from the Daily News. All right, so my day on Saturday, we all went.
Yeah.
Got up at 6 in the morning, which was no fun.
No.
My alarm went off, and I was like, no, but I knew I had to get up. I had it across the room. I was able to get up. I took the long way to New York. I went to Phil's house first.
Yeah.
Picked him up. Went to your house. We all got in your car, and then you drove us down.
And we didn't die.
We did not die. Did a decent job. There's a couple videos up on DSP Gaming of in the car ride. We arrived in New York City, which I give you credit for. You definitely have balls. I don't drive in the city.
You should have seen it Sunday. But go on.
Worse. Was it worse?
Oh, much worse.
Oh,
we'll get into that later.
Okay, you didn't tell me about that. It's going to be good. Well, you're driving in the city. I don't ever drive in the city. I always take the train in and do subways and stuff like that. But we were in the car, and you actually yelled at me on video. Very mean. Yelling at me. Remember this?
It was the morning. I was in a Hulk rage. Please enlighten me.
I started yelling out the window, and then you yelled at me.
Oh, yeah, dude, no. What's wrong? If there's a couple things I hate in my car, it's people giving other people the finger and people shouting in other cars. You were yelling at, like, people in line for the convention.
I was yelling at the woman that was directing the line. I was saying, "Where's Mark Hamill? I'm here to meet him."
I mean, it's hilarious, but I don't want getting people ticked at my car, man.
All right, so that's how we started off. You yelling. We parked the car, and then you got to go right in because you had the
exhibitor pass.
Exhibitor pass. Me and Phil did not. We had the guest pass, I guess, or the
attendee pass. Yeah,
attendee pass. Now, what I said to Phil after this, could we actually buy the same pass that you had just to get in, but never have a booth?
I think if we had thought about this in advance,
yeah,
you could have maybe been like, I think you can buy additional exhibitor badges. I don't remember what the restrictions are, but I know it's possible.
Okay, so we could have gone in with you maybe.
Possibly.
All right,
I don't know. This is my first year, man.
All right, we're gonna be doing this more often, so I think we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, man, we should have got the same pass as him, even though we don't have a booth of our own. Pay the extra whatever, $100, whatever, just to not have to deal with what we had to deal with.
Honestly,
coming up.
You might be able to get press passes, but go on.
I don't know if we get press pass. That's pushing it, but what we had to deal with, they brought us into like the abyss of the building, the basement area, which is a giant area that's roped off and stuff. And we were in there for an hour.
Snaking around back and forth, right? To slow you guys down.
Snake around back and forth. There's about several thousand people in there. And I do have videos of this up on the channel to check out.
The same thing happened at PAX East last year.
But people were in good spirits, though. They were doing, I guess there's different con things people do, and I guess they're in this situation quite a bit, so they're like going through the line and like slapping hands.
Oh, yeah, but that's really cool, but just watch out for the dude who puts acid on his palm. I'm kidding.
The Joker? What are you talking about?
No. Just making a joke that some.
So yeah, people were doing that, and there was just one chick, and she was doing it to everybody, and like everyone wanted to do it because she was a chick, she was a decent looking chick and stuff, But she goes to do it to me, so I put my hand up, and then like last second I put my hand away.
Aww.
And then like everyone started laughing. It was pretty funny.
Oh, you're mean.
But, I don't know. I'm not part of the con circuit, man. I don't know what these things are. So
you may not be part of the circuit, but you threw her for a loop.
All right. So then we eventually got in after an hour of waiting. We went outside. We waited inside in the basement. We finally got in. They were actually giving out like a goodie bag.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that stuff.
We chose not to take one.
Oh man.
We were able to like cut 10 minutes off of our wait.
Okay. That works.
But we got to inside Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con. And the best way I could describe it is it's like the coolest place you could possibly be in the world if you like this kind of stuff. But you have to share it with about 10,000 other people.
Who don't shower.
Who don't shower.
Oh.
So it's kind of a trade-off. It's just insanely huge. We got a map of the place.
It won't help you.
We're trying to figure out like where different things are. There's stuff we never found. We were there for what? How long were we there?
From about 10 until 8:30.
10 till 8:30. Stuff we never found. There's an entire autograph area. I never found it. Some of the other stuff we never found. And first thing we did, we went to see you. We found where you were. You were up in like the attic, basically.
Hello.
You were up in like the attic area.
West Guam. Seriously, like we're up. You go in. You walk all the way to the other end of the convention. You walk up the stairs, past the giant inflatable dog from Adventure Time. Then you walk up the other stairs to the escalator to the room.
Right. So we were up there with you for a little bit, kind of got situated. And then I'm like, all right, I had a list of, because last week on the show, we actually went through all the panels on the website, and I made a list of all the stuff I wanted to see. Right?
Yeah, and then I
did it live on the air last week, okay?
Yeah.
Live to tape, I guess you call it, right?
Sure.
But I'm like, all right, I'm going to go all these panels. I had a list. I was going to see the Green Lantern world premiere. Then I wanted to see the DC panel, the Marvel interactive video games. I wanted to go in there and start yelling at people about X-Men Destiny. I wanted to see Mark Hamill's panel, Tom McFarlane's panel, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Marvel TV. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to either see the Avengers movie panel, and if I can't get into that, I'll go to the Resident Evil one. Well, I got to no panels at all.
That'll happen.
Basically, well, first of all, it took us like a half hour to figure out where the panels were. We're following the map. We figured it out. We go down there. The Green Lantern one, we missed because I was on the line waiting to get in, so that was lost. But I tried to get into the DC panel, which had like Jim Lee and all the DC creators, and they were talking about the New 52. And we get to it, and they're like, it was about 45 minutes before it was about to start, and they're like, yeah, it's already full, can't get in. And then we didn't bother again after that until the later in the day. We tried for the Resident Evil. We're like, all right, screw the Avengers, because people got online for the Avengers at like noon.
Ugh.
The Avengers was at 6. People were online at noon.
People are crazy.
So people went to Comic-Con just for that, basically.
Mm.
So they were like, I'm going to go to Comic-Con, get online, and just wait for that. So we're like, oh, we're going to go to Resident Evil, and then we couldn't get into that either. So
sad.
Got to no panels. I guess we would have to do is like this convention, you could actually go for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Like Connecticut is 3 days, but there's no reason for it to be that way.
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty much.
This thing should be like
depends.
This thing should be like a week long, dude.
Well, they extended it to 4.
It needed to be extended because you could go a day just to do the marketplace.
Yep.
You could do a day of just panels.
Yep.
And you could do a day of like autographs and other shit you want to do. And,
that's the eventual convention conundrum. I mean, there's only so much you can pack into one day and still be sane. And if you want to see something really badly, you will be in line for it for at least an hour.
Right. So, I don't know, we basically couldn't do any panels, so we were just kind of in the main convention area, just wading through the people. I did see some cool stuff. I know that you didn't get to see anything.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to ask me what I saw, that'd be cool, or ask me questions about it. I saw the first thing I went to was the Marvel. Had a giant presence. They had a big Marvel area.
You didn't wait for me to ask you.
Well,
what did you see?
You can ask things based on what I say.
Okay.
But Marvel's area is basically a giant stage with the Avengers symbol on it. And I don't know what was going on with that. I don't know if people were going to come out. But there's people waiting. I think if you just build a stage anywhere in the world, people will just wait around to see what's going to happen. That's my theory on stages.
Build it, they will come.
Yeah, no one ever came out, but they just had the stage.
It's like if you stand in front of a door, they'll think there's a line.
Right. Exactly. They had several of the artists positioned on like the outskirts of the Marvel area.
Mm-hmm.
Signing stuff, doing autographs, stuff like that. They had the Activision games in the middle. So they had like your Spider-Man Edge of Time and your X-Men Destiny being played by people, and they're acting like these are the greatest games ever.
Oh.
And they actually announced while we were there that they're going to do a Spider-Man game for the new movie coming out. And that was like a big deal. They had like a trailer or whatever, and they announced it.
Prepare for Emo Spider-Man version 2.
More extra emo Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's in high school now? What? Anyway.
I don't know. So that game will be coming out, and let's see which list we add it to, the good Spider-Man games or the not good ones. But yeah, that was it for Marvel. I mean, not a ton going on, but I heard Captain America was there, whatever his name is. The dude who plays Captain America.
Oh, yeah. What's his face? That guy.
The Human Torch.
Yeah. Yes.
And then a little bit past that was the DC Comics booth, which we also went to. That was a huge area. It's basically built around Arkham City. Like that was being played. It was on probably 20 TVs, Arkham City. And they had a lot of stuff for the New 52. And they also had artists signing shit, on the outskirts of the area. So that was pretty cool. I mean, official Marvel and more official DC stuff going on. I thought it was cool. I mean, it is what it is.
I would have enjoyed it. It was probably interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I mean, it was tough to navigate yourself and stuff like that.
You can never move around, man.
Right. And I went to Play and Trade.
Oh?
Which is my favorite game store. They actually had an area for Play and Trade.
Nice.
I actually took footage of that. It's up on the channel as well. But they had a ton of games just like thrown on a table. Like a ton of games, man. Piles and piles of Super Nintendo games. I think Phil spent like $100 or something, or like $80 or something. I don't know. You got like a bunch of stuff, but I picked up, and this is the only purchase I made at Comic-Con. When we got there, I went to the ATM. I took out $200.
Wow.
I only spent $9 the entire day, and what I got was Jungle Book for the Super Nintendo.
So all you did was pick up the bare necessities.
All I got was the best thing possible.
I'll take your word for it, man.
I've
never played that.
The animation's amazing.
Okay, I would love to see it.
I wanted to get Chip and Dale.
For the NES?
Yeah, it was made by Capcom. It's a great game.
Oh, it is so good, especially throwing your friend off the ledge.
But they had the box, but the game was not in the box.
What?
Yeah, it was kind of sad. But Play and Trade, I was talking to the people working there. It was cool. And I was glad that they were there and that they're getting that store's name out there and growing that store out,
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Then we went back to see you.
Yeah, hello again.
And you were having some trouble at first with the candles, it seemed like. I was watching you. You were talking a lot of talking going on, but you weren't really sealing the deal. And then all of a sudden, the sky opened up, the clouds went away, and you were on a roll. You were killing it. Why don't you kind of talk about that a little bit, what you were selling and
all right, well,
how you dominated at Comic-Con?
Well, I mean, on Friday it was super quiet. Like, nobody showed up. It was really depressing. I mean, I sold 5, and I'm like, okay, wow, that's about what I should have expected. That's okay. I mean, that's okay. This is for fun, right? And then Saturday hit, and it was crazy. People started coming by, like, every 5 seconds. I mean, I've got my friend to my right, like, attracting people to look at his stuff, and I'm over here, like, just trying to get people's attention. And at some point it occurred to me that taking one of the wine candles out and pretending to drink from it would help me a lot.
Yes.
So I started doing tricks. Like, I'd take the wine and pretend I was throwing it in my face, or like, I'm trying to drink it and it doesn't work, and then I'd act all sad and stuff. And honestly, even if a person didn't come over to buy anything, I got some laughs out of people, and I think honestly that was the best part. Well, I mean, the money's nice, but when when you're doing something silly, like just as a joke, and someone looks at you and smiles, like when a whole family does, that was awesome.
Right. You were doing awesome, man. You were pumping them out. I noticed like a lot of chicks like your stuff.
Well, yeah, I guess they don't have any candles in locust musk or anything for your Gears fans, but right. That smell. But
I want to ask you: is that what you thought? Like, is that your demographic you thought was going to be into your?
I thought that maybe some girls would like stuff, so they made some some of the fish and the fairies and whatnot. But I did not anticipate the wine and stuff going so quickly. Like, once somebody smelled the raspberry apple wine glasses I made,
yeah,
people were just like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome! I can't believe this smells this good." And then
you were selling like the wine stuff more than the gaming related stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I thought that would just be like, someone comes by, they're a fan of Twilight or something, and then like, "Oh my gosh, it's a vial of blood. I want the blood." Like, right. Okay, that's cool. But no, people were. I was impressed, and what surprised me the most was people were buying the little colored ones, which honestly I think look pretty effing sweet. But I thought that people would be more interested in the gaming and anime ones.
Right.
But I guess the way the colors look, and the fact that no one could see it, but when you light the little ones, the bubbles like catch the light, and it's awesome. And I hope some people tried that. Yeah. But I was really surprised. One of the best things that happened though was there's this show called Hatalia Axis Powers. which is basically they personify all the countries from World War I and II. So, you know, there's like a big blonde-haired guy eating hamburgers all the time for America who thinks he's the hero, and there's, well, let's not talk about France. But Russia is this guy who apparently has this cute little bird, you know, like a baby chick, sitting on top of his head for a while, and he's always drinking. So this guy came by. I had one beer candle, and he sees it, and he's like, I'll be back. He came back. He bought the candle. I'm like, do you want a box or anything? He's like, nope. And he just uses it as part of his costume for the rest of the day. He's walking around with it. People are asking where he got it. He's pointing them at me. And that just really made me happy. I mean, that was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think honestly though, just the people who came by and bought stuff, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I hope that you're I mean, a couple guys sent me emails saying, "Yeah, I'm really happy with what I got," and I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you.
Sweet. Yeah, people think like Comic-Con's a bunch of, you know, dudes walking around and these like, you know, hardcore comic book guys and strange people and shit, but so it's like we talked about earlier, it's become so mainstream now. There's so many people there. There's a ton of females there. They love the candles. They love you. They were buying things, and you also said people were buying stuff for their parents too, which you didn't.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was another funny thing. Yeah, some people are coming by and they were saying, you know, that they thought this is really cool. Like one girl bought some stuff for herself and said, "Okay, I'm buying my mom this wine glass because she's gonna love this, and she will not expect that I brought something back for them that I was thinking of them." And I thought that was really sweet. And then they also added, "Oh man, I'll definitely be able to come back next year if I bring in this."
Right.
But
so now you have kind of an idea of like what sells and what who your audience is and stuff. Like
yeah,
that.
I mean,
awesome.
I was really happy because there were some fish that I just made myself. You know, like these aren't based on anything. I just thought these would be some cool looking fish, and someone bought them and was so excited about it. I mean, oh, I was so happy.
You sold a ton of stuff too.
Yeah, I sold a little bit over half of what I brought.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
all right. So I was actually having flashbacks because I was kind of helping you out a little bit, and I was doing some money exchanging for people, and
yeah, thank you again for that. By the way,
I was having some flashbacks to my previous retail jobs and things like that. But it was kind of fun. I love selling stuff, man. Like
yeah,
I don't like working for these really corporate stores and shit, but it's always something I've always enjoyed, and
yeah, I mean
that kind of thing, and chatting people up, and
yeah, you meet so many people.
Yeah, man, I always liked it. So.
I felt weird going back to my desk job. I love it there too, but
right, yeah, we were hanging out at your booth for probably a couple hours at that point.
Yeah,
take a break, and best thing about this, we got to meet a lot of the listeners and viewers and things like that were coming over, and we were signing shit, and people were having to sign stuff.
Oh, they're all really cool, by the way.
Right, and this is what surprised me. The way you handle this you're so nonchalant about this, because people were bringing stuff over to me to sign, and I look at it, you already had signed it for them.
Well, I was at the booth the whole time.
You don't even mention this to me. Like, I come over, I'm with you for a while. You don't mention that you signed anything. And then people were like, "Oh, sign my game or whatever." And you already signed it, so you're just like so cool and calm about this that it's like nothing to you.
Well, no, it's not that. It's like, I mean, I'm honored. I don't want to freak out or anything. I might be tittering like a schoolgirl in my head, but, you know.
Is that how do you honestly feel about it, though? I want to know.
I mean, I've said it before. I mean, I'm incredibly flattered. I mean, the fact that somebody would want my autograph, ever since I was a little kid, that was kind of a dream of mine.
Yeah, it's a great honor, especially at Comic-Con. I was really like, oh wow, it's cool.
Yeah. And everyone who came up to meet me, I wish I could remember everyone's names. There was Rich, who was he was actually working the con. Glenn, there was Neil and Nathan, a bunch of other people. There were just so many who stopped by, and everyone was just so cool. They were all really nice. They took a look at my stuff. Some even bought stuff, and thank you guys again for that. But I mean, dude, you attract good people. You and Phil are good people, and a lot of people like you came by, and they were all really cool.
Well, my online persona is a very nice person, but in reality, I'm very I'm a very disgusting human being.
I'm sure you're so disgusting. That's why I hang out with you constantly.
I'm a deviant in real life. No, but like everyone I met was awesome. I tried to talk to everyone as much as I possibly could. So we met a good, I'd say over 20 people.
Oh,
I met throughout the day at your booth, and then people would find us like while we were walking around, and it was an honor. It was great, and very happy to meet everybody, and Thank
Yeah,
you
it
very
sounds
much
like
for
you
coming
and
out.
Phil really had a good time with that.
We had an excellent time. That just made it even better. So people were cool, man. I tried to talk to them. I was asking like specific questions of everyone. I would ask like, if, do you subscribe to my channel? And they all did, which was nice. But I was like, well, what do you like on the channel? And a lot of people said smart guys. I love smart guys, which was kind of a surprise to me because I've been kind of down on the series just because I don't particularly enjoy a lot of the current wrestling products, and I kind of like spend a half hour every week just ripping on it.
Oh,
But so I was kind of down on the series. I was like, I don't like being negative, that much every week. But people were like, oh, I love Smart Guys. I really like it. So I've kind of like re-energized me for Smart Guys. And a couple of people, I'm like, what's your favorite thing? What would you like to see me do more of on my channel? And like most of the people said, I wanted to see you rip on GameStop more.
oh gosh.
So I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that anymore, man. That's like fanatical. After I did about 2 hours worth on that. How much more could I possibly do? So I'm like, what do you like to see me do? And they're like, I like when you rip on GameStop and you hate GameStop. That's my favorite.
Well, I mean, it was pretty good stuff, but you can't do that forever.
Of all the things I do, that's their favorite thing. So that was really cool, meeting the people. And then we went back down to the convention. We went to the Capcom booth. Capcom had Street Fighter Cross Tekken available to play if you wanted to wait in line. Which I don't really care about. I could just wait till it comes out. I'm not crazy like that. Not a big deal. They had Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Phil actually played it.
Oh, really? What did he say?
He played on the stage. We waited in line for like an hour with him, and I was holding the camera, and I was actually talking to one of the fans, dudes from Westchester, New York, which is really cool. Just chatting him up. We were talking about stuff, and while Phil was waiting in line, and Phil says the TV was very laggy, and he at least lost his match. So there was a giant area, like an old school area of basically what the Comic-Con used to be. Was like in a section. That was all of your old comic book sellers. You had your Golden Age, Silver Age comic book guys and your comic related figures and all that stuff in one section. It was very cool.
Oh yeah, I remember last year I picked up some nice comic book tumbler glasses. Doctor Strange and the X-Men. Yeah,
dude. When I was into comics, man, I'm into comics now, but I don't want to accumulate stuff anymore because I don't have space.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
You have this thing at conventions, and it's the greatest thing ever. It's the dollar box. Or the 50-cent box, or 2 for $1 box, right? And there's just boxes of comics stacked, and you just dig through them, and pull up what you want. And I remember this one convention, the dude would give you an empty comic box, okay, and you filled it with whatever you wanted that he had, and it was like $20 for the whole thing.
Nice.
It was crazy. I remember doing this, sitting there for like a half hour, just going through stuff, but that was a time long past. I can't really do that stuff. But that's my favorite thing about that. You have anything to add about that?
About that? No, but I remembered something about the Capcom booth.
Oh, go ahead.
So we didn't get to go down to the Capcom booth, but my friend and I are up there, and these two girls, almost identical looking blonde girls, pretty tall, skinny, walked up past our booth, and they were looking at my friend's stuff. And as they're walking away, he turns to them and asks them, hey, are you guys artists or writers? And went into his spiel and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, they're wearing identical Capcom shirts. These girls are probably models. And sure enough, they were like European models or something. So they were like, I don't know if I guess either my friend spoke too quickly or, they know so many other languages from being in Europe that they didn't understand his English very well because they just looked really confused and like shuffled away. And I'm like, oh man,
you couldn't tell they were models from their how they look. But you got to look at their outfit, at their Capcom badges.
They were pretty much models, man. You could kind of tell when you've got. Okay. It was like, but. He still went into his spiel anyway. That's
the classic strategy of, cons, and all these booths had like a chick in front of it.
Well, honestly, I've heard tell that some girls will go, girls who want to be models or actresses, or actors or something, will go to these conventions dressed up as characters and stuff and act out stuff a little bit to try and get noticed by people. Like I remember last year,
take their picture post at places.
Yeah, there was a girl with last year who I saw who was dressed as Mrs. Fantastic.
Right.
I'm sorry, the Invisible Woman. Gosh. But
Mrs. Fantastic. Wow.
I'm tired, man. Shush. And dressed as the Invisible Woman, not as an Invisible Woman, but whatever. And like the costume looked like top notch, like it must have cost thousands of dollars. And you could kind of tell that she either was a model or really wanted to be. It was, you just see people wandering around. It's like crazy.
Yeah, and like I was gonna say, all these booths have like a chick as like the like welcoming you.
Yeah.
We went to Rayman Origins, which is a game coming out that I don't know if we're gonna play or whatever, but the chick, like as soon as you walk in, there's a chick and she's like, "Do you want to pre-order the game?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Please, please." I was like, "No, I have no money. Get away."
I don't get paid if I don't get pre-orders. I need to eat. I have my son.
I don't think that's the case. I kind of asked her about. Well, I kind of talked to her, and I was like, "No, I can't. I don't want to pre-order it, but you did a great job." And she's like, "Really? Do I need to approve anything?" And I was just like, "No, I'm a tough sell. You know, it's hard. It's a difficult thing to get me to buy stuff, but you did great. You know."
Yeah.
We also went to the Nintendo.
Awesome.
That was the last thing we did. Doesn't sound like we did much, but just walking around takes forever. I mean,
yeah, we got the impression that if you try to move around, it will take you a half hour to get maybe 100 feet.
Yeah.
We had a big window over the show floor, and it was crazy looking down there. And like a couple of people at booths near me, they would take turns going down to see the convention and just buy stuff and whatnot. And they'd come back and say, "It's a mess."
Yeah, it got scary, man. I think someone could probably be trampled, and no one would ever know. But
that's why you dress up in a costume so you have armor.
So, like I said, I went to Nintendo. That was pretty sweet, actually. Giant Zelda banner for Twilight Print. What is it? The new one? Something Sword?
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword. I'm sorry. I was about to say Twilight Sword. It doesn't make any sense. But I saw the new Kirby game, which I'm actually going to get now. It looks pretty cool.
Well, Kirby's always been fun, man.
This one's got co-op and shit, and I'm going to get it. Yeah.
What, would you play as Kirby and...
I think he plays two Kirbys.
That's confusing.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, man. It is. He has asexual reproduction or something. I don't know. But
better than Yoshi.
I did play Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS.
Oh? Thoughts?
I got first place, and the dude gave me a pin for getting first place.
Nice.
And
as expected of you.
And I told him that I would wear the pin at my wedding. He said, "Treat that pin well." I said, "I will wear this to my wedding."
Booyah.
And that was Nintendo. It was pretty cool. They had there's a new Shinobi game coming out.
Shinobi is back
for 3DS.
For 3D? Oh, man, so it might actually be really good.
It was 2D. It looked good.
Thank you.
What else did they have? Mario Land 3D or something like that? Mario 3D Land?
What the frell is that?
It's the new Mario game for the 3DS.
Interesting.
But it is. I like that they're using the Mario Land name. They're bringing that back.
Because that's what they did for the handhelds.
Right. A long time ago.
I hope it feels more like... Mario World than the new Super Mario Brothers game, because that wasn't bad, but it felt funny.
Right. I went different other places quickly. Hasbro, all the toys, did a giant Optimus Prime,
of course.
So Square Enix had Final Fantasy 13-2.
Yeah, they had a Stare advertisement for Final Fantasy 13-2,
which is coming out in January, which I'm kind of upset about. I don't. It's too soon for me. It took me a year to beat the Final Fantasy 13 because I would get so sick of it that I'm like, I need a 4-month break, and then I would stop. And I eventually did beat it, but I'm like, no, not another one, please.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to play because it's Final Fantasy, but
dude, I'm still waiting on finishing 12.
Yeah,
I'm playing 4 right now, actually.
Okay, those are good. Those are better. Those are better ones.
Oh.
What else did we see? There was a Kinect area. People playing the Kinect.
That must have taken up a lot of space, because don't you have to be back kind of far for that to work?
There was like 6 rooms of people playing Kinect games. And
dang.
Struggling to get to work.
Oh.
And I'm trying to think, and there was like BioWare was there.
Oh, yeah, for the Old Republic.
Yeah, that's coming out.
Dragon Age 12. Right?
Yeah. That was pretty much it. And then we went up with you. We were in the ballroom. We were in your area, which, like you said, looked down over the entire con.
Yeah, it did.
So I got some like post-con footage.
Yeah.
Where places just trash, there's garbage all over the floor and stuff.
Oh man, it's like a riot.
Did you watch the video yet?
Actually, I saw a couple of the others, but I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, so that one's there, and then I got kicked out because I didn't have the badge that you have.
I felt bad about that. They're like, no, you can't wait here. You have to go out.
You don't have the right badge. You have to leave Comic-Con. Get out. You're done. So we waited for you outside. We drove home. It was a pretty easy drive.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I know you guys got hungry, but we didn't see any food on the way back.
Yeah, we eventually went to Taco Bell.
Figured. The one by me or a different one?
Yeah, the one right by your house.
Nice.
Right down the street. We went to that one. I spent like $15 at Taco Bell.
That's a lot of food.
No, it wasn't that much, but we got quite a bit of stuff. We went crazy.
Oh man, I'm gonna get hungry again, dude.
And you went to bed at like 10 o'clock.
Oh gosh, yeah, I did. Oh man.
So why don't you run through Sunday quickly because we ran very late tonight.
Yeah, we totally did. Oh man, almost 2 hours.
Are you serious?
Well, we're at.
Let's load up at Sunday quick.
Yeah, all right. Sunday, got up early, got there, unpacked the booth, and Sunday was quieter than Saturday, but way busier than Friday. Also, Sunday is when a lot of people want to go shopping because it's a lot quieter. It's a shorter convention, and if you're not walking around that much, you can actually afford to buy something that you can carry, and have to carry it all day.
Most of the panels are done.
Yeah. So we had a lot of people come by, a lot of cool people buying stuff, and a few fans of DSP and Rambo came by. I said hi. But as it got towards the end of the day, I mean, everyone started getting anxious. Like a couple people left early from the Artist Alley section, and I wanted to stay there at least till 5, when technically you're not allowed to leave before then. But I was really fortunate because a giant flotilla of friends of mine and my booth, the guy sharing the booth with me's friends, they came by and they helped us take apart our booth at the end of the day because they stopped letting people in at 5. But if you're already inside the Artist Alley, they don't come by and kick you out till like 5:30 or 6.
Right.
So it was like, well, I'm out of business cards. I've been out of business cards since noon. There's not too much left to buy here. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff, but a lot of the stuff that apparently people really liked was already gone. So we're like, okay, my friend wants to pack up. Let's just do it. So my friend started packing up at about 5:30, at about 5:38, and I had to go fetch my car. And this is where things got hairy.
This is the bad driving thing you were talking about.
So I get outside to the park to the loading zone, and there's already a few cars in line, like maybe 5 to 10. I asked.
You were inside the car at this point, or what?
No, I'm walking. I parked
okay.
About 10 blocks away.
Why?
Because it's $12.
Oh my god, dude!
I like walking.
So when you went with us, we paid what?
60.
60 for the day. You want to do that? You want to take that on yourself?
I didn't want 60. I had to do that for Friday. I didn't want to do it for
all right,
Sunday too.
You walked 10 blocks.
Yeah. So I asked the security guard, like, hey, this is where I can go to load up my car with my booth, right? He said, yep. But don't bother coming for a half hour. I'm like, well, I got a 15-block walk to go, so I'll see you after I reach it. I walk all the way back over to my car. I give my grandma a call to say hi, and reach the car, and it's about 6:08. Like, well, hey, that's a half hour. Turn around, and I'm on a one-way street, and I have to go back another avenue. So I drive in this big loop, dodging cars, dodging things. It's crazy. People are driving like morons, angry morons, honking like crazy. And then, as I start to come back up 11th Avenue, which is what the Javits Center is on, traffic begins to slow down. The left lane gets blocked off for construction.
Nice.
And there's 2 right lanes, and I'm in the middle lane. I need to get over 2 lanes, I figured, to get into the convention area. I get over 1 lane. It's a miracle. I don't know how I do it. And then there's this truck to my right, and I can get maybe almost ahead of the truck, and then the truck moves forward again. The guy's window's open. I open my window. I'm like, hey, could you let me in? I need to get in this lane. Guy like just kind of glares at me and doesn't let me do it. So I'm trying to get in there. I'm kind of holding up traffic for a while.
So you're from that Comic-Con, aren't you?
Yeah, and he's in the right lane.
Out of my city.
Yeah, and there's no way to get around him, If there's 3 cars, you got a chance that one of them will let you in. The guy won't do it. So I'm pulling up next to the guy, trying to pass him. Eventually, I just get ahead of him, and I'm trying to get over. Once I'm ahead of him, by like 10 cars or so, he moves into the left lane. So he didn't even want to be there anyway. Then thankfully, I'm trying for so long, and then a man in a van, a big white panel van with words on it, I don't remember what they said, he sees me with his window open, and he waves at me, and he lets me in. And I'm like thanking him. I'm going, thank you, thank you, thank you. I get in there. It's about 6:20 at this point.
So how long did it take to get there?
It took me about 45 minutes
Wow.
to get back.
Oh, it's terrible.
And then at about 6:45, I actually get into the loading zone. And the guys tell me where to park. And right when I park the car and turn off the engine, my friends call and they're like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "All right, guys, I just parked. I'm where where we unloaded the stuff on Thursday morning. Do you want me to come meet you, or are you going to come find the car?" They said, "No, we'll find the car." So I went out to go meet them, and I found them, and we did it in 2 trips, maybe 3. And my friends who live in the city went, said goodbye. I thanked them profusely, and then I got to drive home.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Not too far, though.
No, it wasn't too far, but the traffic was abysmal.
Oh, God.
Like 7:30 on a Sunday night.
Yeah, yeah.
And the GPS was messing with me. Every other night, the GPS would say, "Okay, now get on the Henry Hudson Parkway and stay there." I'm like, "Okay." And it's telling me to go this weird route. And I'm like, why would I do that? And so I'm like, you know what, GPS? I know how to get the Henry Hudson myself. I'll take the Henry Hudson. I get on there, and it's like, "I'm afraid I can't let you do that, John." And the thing's like, "Nope, get off. Go this way, go this way, go this way." I'm like, no. I like Henry Hudson. It's been fast. And it's completely covered in traffic.
Oh.
And then I say,
that's why I was doing that?
Yeah, I found out why, because there's tons of traffic. It could have said, "Hey, traffic, go this way." Instead, it just said, "Hey, go this way."
Yeah.
I took Broadway for maybe... Yeah, I took Broadway. I got off of the Henry Hudson and took Broadway all the way up to Idiot Stadium. And then took the Idiot Stadium Bridge, like the Monarch Manahout Bridge or something.
Yes.
And I don't know where I am. I'm covered in traffic. People won't let me get into the right lane, which I need to be to get onto the Cross County Parkway. And then I finally get through. I'm like, wait a second. Did I just cross the river? Like, I'm on the Hutchinson River Parkway now.
You drove the entire length of the river?
No, I crossed it on that tiny little bridge, like, without even realizing that was me crossing a bridge to get out of the city. So apparently there's tons of little bridges all over the city to escape from it. Huh. And dropped my friend off, helped him unload his stuff, went back to my house, brought my stuff in, and pretty much, I sat down with a bottle of scotch and had poured myself a couple shots of scotch, drank half of it, then a fly landed in it, and I didn't want to drink it anymore because there's dead fly in it.
Right.
And I relaxed and played Team Fortress as the demo man.
Well, I'm sure it would have been a good time, but I'm kind of glad I didn't go with you on Sunday.
Yeah, it would have been fun, but you wouldn't have fit in the car.
I think this was a learning experience for you in many ways. I think you...
Many ways.
In many ways, you became a man. This is your elite puberty or something.
What?
Is that wrong to say? I'm trying to say you blossomed into a better person.
I mean, into a better person, but it's not like I was terrible beforehand, right?
No, I don't think so. I'm just messing with you. But no, you driving in the city and selling your wares and signing things, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on.
There were a lot of firsts for me this weekend.
So what's next for you? What's next in the life of OJ? You have to replenish your stock now? What's going on?
Honestly, I wanted to take a break, but I've gotten some commission requests already, and some people told me they wanted to hit me up for Christmas time for presents, so I have to set up my store.
Yeah, man, get that going.
Yeah, I'll probably work on that. I'm hoping to get that done by Sunday.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm planning on playing Warhammer tomorrow, so
don't do it, man. You gotta do work, man.
I'll be doing work, but I gotta relax a little bit, man.
No.
I'm still exhausted.
We're doing another 3-hour podcast tomorrow. We're doing a 2-hour podcast every day for the next month.
Dude,
All right, so what are your overall impressions of Comic-Con 2011?
From what little of it I saw, it looked like it was very, very successful. It was more crowded than last year.
Right.
There were people everywhere. Friday was a red herring. It was dead. And then Saturday, just everyone showed up. There were a lot of
people. It's probably still a couple thousand people there, but just because the place is so big that it's dead, but still probably insane.
They couldn't even find us.
Right.
Like they probably just didn't find us up there because we were in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But no, I'll say it was. I mean, I've been to some big cons before, but this one felt really huge, and I'm kind of glad I had a chair to sit in the whole time and didn't have to walk through the masses. And also, it smelled really nice where I was sitting.
You had air conditioning too, where you were
right underneath an air conditioning vent.
So,
made my day.
Yeah, the fact that you had that table made my experience a lot better. not only because we got to meet people, or people had a place to find us and we could talk to people, but also had a place to chill out and wait for the craziness for a while.
Well, I'd love to share a booth with you guys. So
I would love to go for like a couple days to that thing, because that's what you really need to do to really enjoy it to the max.
Yeah.
Like what I probably would have done was panels on Saturday, and Sunday I would have done the marketplace stuff.
Yeah, usually a good plan for conventions, like this is what my friends and I do. We figure out maybe one or two things we want to see. For example, let's take Otakon, for example, a big anime convention in Baltimore. We usually pick out one or two things we want to see, which almost invariably becomes the Dub Actors After Dark panel. And we'll plan our day around getting our 18-plus wristbands and getting there in line on time. And then the rest of the time, we wander around, seeing people dressed up, taking photos, hit the artist's alley, hit the dealer's room where they've got the cool stuff for sale. Then if we see something else cool while we're wandering, we'll go there.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of person that will wait in lines for things.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's very few things in this world that I would ever wait in a line for.
There is one nice thing about waiting in lines, though. This happened to us at Otakon several times. You wait in line, and you end up near cool people that you would have not have otherwise met. We spent hours just talking with random people. We'll bring card games with us, just play like stupid Duel, or we really didn't play test this at all, and just hang out while we're waiting for the panel to start. It's nice.
Yeah, you kind of some camaraderie there and shit, but I don't know. I'm pretty antisocial most of the time.
Ah.
So, no, I mean, there's very few things in this world I would wait in line for. Maybe like you get a free bucket of money. I wait in line for that. If Pamela Anderson and Carmen Electra were doing some sort of show together.
Circa, 10 years ago?
Circa 10. Yeah, I guess I'm dating myself with that one, but...
Well, it's not as if anyone else would date you.
I mean,
that's from that's a Dilbert joke.
Wow.
Sorry.
I'm in line for that, but that's probably about it. I mean, I'm not a big wait around person, but gotta keep on the move, man. That's how it goes.
Understandable. You don't want to get your feet jammed in one spot.
Right. But I had a good time. I'd like to maybe get back and maybe go for more days and.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean,
more of a full experience.
If they let me in again next year, then awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing how mainstream it is, how big it is, how big the venue is.
A lot of parents
going on.
A lot of parents too.
Yeah, man, parents. The whole family shows up.
Yeah, I remember last year I saw a Deadpool family. Like a mom, a dad, and two kids, all dressed as.
I think I saw them this year. Actually, I think it's in one of the videos.
Nice. I've seen an X-Men family too, which is really sweet.
Yeah, I'm sure multiple people do that.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cute.
But I think I'm done with Comic-Con. It was good. I think I'm done with Comic-Con.
I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it. I think my brain is picked clean.
How long did we go today?
We are about 52 minutes times 2 minus 10, so I'd say about an hour 45 minutes.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. Maybe a little less than that.
All right, so I think that's it for Comic-Con. I want to talk about the comics that have come out the last 3 weeks, but it's just we keep going long. So I guess we'll eventually have like a big comic show.
Yeah, I just spent like $28 buying this stuff to read.
I mean, that'll be the plan. Every 3 weeks or something, we'll do like one show on comics. I don't know.
That'll be cool. We'll figure something out, or maybe just
we're still figuring things out. But I actually have several guests in mind and lined up and shit, and we may have one next week actually for the Halloween show.
Ah, cool. Let me know if you want me to try and find a chef.
We gotta do a full food show. This is gonna be all. I'm excited about that.
All right, I got a friend who's a really good cook, but I don't think that's what you're looking for.
Well, someone that knows how to cook things, and we could ask questions about things.
Okay.
How things are made and things like that. That'd be funny. But I think that's it for me. I'm gonna go finish off Arkham City now. I'm gonna go polish that off. I'm pretty close to being done.
I'm probably gonna get ready for bed and then play Final Fantasy IV till I go to sleep.
Yes.
And then remember to blow out this candle before I burn down my house.
So as always, I just want to thank everyone, each and every one of you. Thank you for listening to John Rambo Presents the best in free and optional entertainment.
And I want to say thank you to as well.
Yes.
Sorry for cutting you off, but I had to say it.
OJ says thank you as well while I'm talking.
Yes.
Okay.
It was that.
Adios. All right, you say the final word, and then because you introed it, you say the final thing.
All right.
Go.
Everyone, I'd like to thank you all for listening today, and look forward to your comments, hearing from you in the future, and be prepared. Good things are coming on John Rambo Presents The Show. Have a great day.
Woo! Bye.